Hello guys, NautoAce here, and this will be a rewind because if you followed the game awards, of course they had a King of Fighter 15 trailer and they introduced a new character by the name of Krohnen. But for long-time King of Fighter fans and veteran, you know who this character is, and yes, it's K99. I mean, they just had a new trailer, the reveal trailer, and yeah, the way they present it, it is K99 with a new name. So I'm gonna give my thoughts on Krohnen, but I'm gonna wait until Oda or the character director gonna give the description about Krohnen and see whether this is actually a new person that's based on K49, like a copy or whatever. I mean, it's a Nest thing. Or it's actually K49 that he changed his name because, well, for people who don't know that in the lore, he actually hated the name K49 because that was given to him by Nest scientists or higher-ups, and he really hated that because the reason of the 49 is, I kind of talk about this on the rewind, is that he's supposed to be the 9999 Kusanagi soldier clone, and he just hated it. That's why if you saw the reveal trailer, he kind of make a reference to Kusanagi, which is Kyo 95, but sort of a Kage thing before Kage even exists. And he also had an interaction with K. Of course, he hated K as well. So I'm gonna give like my full thoughts on Krohnen, and especially the history behind it. And yeah, it's really interesting because some people say that, some people say this, shoulda, woulda, who said, who done it, whatever. I'm going to give my perspective about it, but I can tell you that some of the people that I listen to, yeah, I can agree that, yeah, I can agree with this, with that. So I'm going to give my personal perspective. It might not be right, but, again, option, like I said, just you decide what is right or not. So whatever, I digress on that because that was awesome. That's one of my wishes. Actually, like I said, two of my biggest wish for King of Fighter 15 to shatter my expectation is, no, not the Fatal Fury team. I still stick to that one. That's kind of lame team, but whatever. But I wanted Ash back. They did it. Ash Crimson is back. And K49 with a new name, I guess. But again, I'll explain that later on a different video. But with that, this is going to be part of a King of Fighter retrospective that I did a long time ago. So I'm gonna put the clip part of K49, and then even Kula finally gets her own team called the actual official, just like in '97 the Orochi team with Yashiro, Shermie, and Chris. There's actually called the Nest Cartel team, which is Kula and then Foxy. Foxy basically was a striker for Kula, but now she's a playable character. And I have also heard in 2001 she's way broken, but that's a different story. And two new characters. First is K49. Yes, this is the guy. Basically what they did was apparently somehow this developer or the company, Aeolith, somehow is a fan of Akira the anime, so that's what K49 was based on. But his premises, the reason why he's called K49, he's the 9999th K. Because again, they're trying to find this perfect Kyo clone. So it's supposed to be another Kyo clone, but unfortunately it has different powers. And his power is, like I said, it's Akira to some extent. It's technically Earth power / bio Earth power. Let's just say that. Let's say one of his moves is what Akira does in the anime. So it is a homage to Akira, and I'm surprised that the Akira producers said, hey, why not? So there you go. And he actually has a teammate by the name of Angel, which is supposed to be a grappler. And remember, like I said in King Fighter 90 or 14, that Angel's back. This is her first origin, was in King Fighter 2001. Kusanagi was supposed to be the perfect clone. So you got K, which is a modified clone, K49, It's supposed to be a clone of Kyo, but unfortunately he has his own power. Kyo 1 and Kyo 2, which is of course their modified version of 95 and 98 respectively. So Kusanagi is the perfect clone. And you also have something known with Kyo or Kusanagi. He basically has dark skin and red eyes. And I'll kind of explain that later on, what's the deal with that. But yeah, there you go, Kusanagi. Like I said, Kusanagi made a comeback in 2003, and that premise there was different. The story was that Chizuru, using her sacred treasure, I think they call it the magic mirror, created some sort of magical illusion to protect her, and basically Kusanagi is supposed to be the sub-boss for 2003. After a while, just like 98, King of Fighters 2000 also had a revised makeover called the King of Fighters 2002 Unlimited Match. Yes, just like 98, it's an improved version with more characters, more playable characters, a well-balanced game, and supposedly the most definitive version of the NES saga. So, it is a definitive version. It's one of my favorite games for King of Fighter 2002, and I'll explain why. What's the difference between Unlimited Matches and the original? The brand new, they're not, I guess you can call them sort of the new NES team, which is Kula, Foxy, and Angel. Yes, why is it Foxy? What happened to K99? Well, unfortunately, in here, apparently, once again, when SNK finally got their company back, thanks to Playmore, that's where SNK Playmore, what I think they said was they weren't really a fan of K49. People thought it was, maybe it was a license issue because you're using Akira. That's not really the case. The real case is the majority of people in SNK wasn't really a fan of K49. So, unfortunately, they gave him the boot. Instead, they have a new character with K49's moveset called Nameless. And Nameless is supposed to be a Mystic clone. It's another clone of the NES cartels, but somehow this one is a special clone that's supposed to be a superior clone. Once again, could be rival to Kusanagi. And so Nameless, I guess you could say, is another sort of a perfect clone because he looks really awesome, but he does have the same move as K49. Moveset wise, style wise, is very different because apparently this one is more like he has a shadow power and he's fast. It's like a ninja. So that's what Nameless versus K49 is earth power and it's kind of slow. And yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if K49. Actually, I would be surprised if K49 actually went back to King Fighter 14. If Angel's in the game, why not K49? They're like best friends. But that's beside the point. So, Nameless was actually, again, it's considered a semi-new character because it's really K49 moveset, but with a different attribute. He's faster than K49. So, again, I keep saying about why Kusanagi is supposed to be awesome and why that Kyo and Kyo 2 are supposed to be significant for this one. Okay, in 99, they weren't so much significant because, again, they're like a single entry. You go, kind of like Shingo, you just have to add them in for single entry story mode. And they don't even have an ending from what I heard. So, that's what it is. But what if you got 3 clones existing? Well, one of the new original team that's on exclusive to 2002, another awesome, one of my favorite team that I made is the clone team. Yes, the clone team. Team captain, Kusanagi, Kyo 1, Kyo 2. So, how can you deny able to play 3 Kyos as a team? Granted, they have modified move, they have probably different attribute, but you got 3 Kyos. Just like saying playing 3 versions of Ryu as a team. So that's why one of the significant about this game that's pretty awesome that I like is they finally made something about the clone premise. So what do you get when you have some clone that survive? K1 and K2 still survive, and Kusanagi, there you go. You got the clone team. Here's the part that why is it that I prefer like Kusanagi is much better than, well, in my opinion, Kusanagi is much better than Nameless. Okay, remember I said in 2002 he was the perfect clone of the NES did the perfect clone, while in 2003 he was by magic. So after a while, I guess, anniversary wise, from what I reckon, I could be wrong, SNK once again gave Kusanagi a revised version of his premise, his storyline. So basically this time, what really the storyline, I could be wrong also, but this is what I heard about it. It's on the internet, hopefully, this long time ago. But the premise of Kusanagi is, and this is what they did, and basically, maybe it's a cop out, but this is what it is that somehow it was the perfect clone thanks to the NES technology, but at the same time, G0 somehow infused magic to this clone. So technically, Kusanagi is basically a magical clone. Basically, when science and magic combine, that's what Kusanagi is. So while Nameless is a perfect clone, but through science technology, Kusanagi is not only science technology he was being cloned, but somehow infused some sort of magical spiritual power, like some sort of soul or whatever, illusion soul, I don't know, to Kusanagi, thus you got what Kusanagi is. That's why I like the guy, I like his premise. He's a magical clone. He was made through science and magic together. Remember, science and magic are like enemies. They don't go together. This one does. Thus, you got Kusanagi. And if you even notice, even his new improved illustration in 2002, not only you notice he has the red eyes. He has the red eyes thing. The way even he basically, his pose, it just basically shows power. Well, yeah, but he has red aura surrounding him, and his eyes is red. And you look at his icon page in 2002, he has red eyes. What does it remind you of? Something Street Fighter, Akuma, or Evil Ryu? Some sort of like, there's some sort of evil intent to this guy. That's why I'm like, Kusanagi could be, well, they could say he's a evil Kyo. Because, well, to some extent, you know, there's Orochi Iori, so Kusanagi. Some sort of magical clone with evil intent because he has red aura. That's why, and this is why also now Kyo 1 and Kyo 2 and Kusanagi, all three of them combined, form the clone team. And finally you had something, finally it makes sense, because you created Clone Kyo. Why not make a team out of clones? There you go, the clone team. So that's technically Kusanagi's supposedly new storyline premise or background story, is that he was created by NES Cartel through science, but somehow Chizuru put some magical fuse in it, thus making it a magical clone. Again, I could be making this up, but I did read it on the internet about it a long time ago. But still, he's still awesome than Kyo. So